Hello, everybody.
You were going to provide information to Tim's Pub regarding your employment. Did you do that?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
And Ms. Kraus, do you agree with that?
Yes, he did.
All right. The second part of the order, Mr. Harding, was that you were ordered to make a payment, some payment to the front of the court every time you got paid. You told me at the time you were going to get paid twice per month or every 2 weeks. Do you remember that part of the order, Mr. Harding?
Yes.
Have you complied with that part of the order?
I don't think I have, but I have had my checks been garnishing and they've been paying more out of them.
So, Ms. Kraus, first, can you tell me whether there's an income withholding order in place?
We have not received payments from the employer. I did have contact with the defendant on the 25th of September and requested that if that was the case, to provide pay stubs. That communication didn't go very well in regards to any communication, as when I did request information, I was interrupted. So it kind of ended with that.
So you don't have any information to suggest that an income withholding order is in place?
The information he provided, and I did speak with our employer specialist, it is the correct information to our knowledge and was sent. It was mailed out on August 8th, the day after the hearing, but no payments have been received.
So there might be one in place, but at least Tim's Pub is not complying with it, even if it's in place. You've not received payments.
Correct.
From Otsego County, in front of the court records, since August 8th of 2025, how many payments have been made by Mr. Harding?
None.
Mr. Harding, do you dispute that?
Yes, like I said, I could see the money being half taken out of my check, half of my check being taken since the order was put in.
Did you reach back out after September 25th to the friend of the court and supply them alternative information?
No.
Did you get contact from the friend of the court about a month after this hearing in September?
With the garnishment withholding with Tim's, I was contacted with the piece of paperwork.
The third part of the order was that you would make payments again every 2 weeks, whenever you got a paycheck, or additional payments when you receive additional income from another source. Outside of Tim's Pub, are you further employed right now, Mr. Harding?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Kraus, you don't have any other information about other employment so far, do you?
I did receive information on that date of contact on September 25th. He did come in asking why I sent information to an employer, as he indicated at the hearing in front of Your Honor that Timothy's Pub's employment would pay for his support. Anything outside of that was to be to him. I did again try to explain how that process worked. And again, he wasn't receptive to information and pretty much turned and walked away. So he had been employed. National New Hire had picked up that, because that's the reason he came to the office that day, was to have that income withholding stopped.
What's National, and what was the name of the place?
National New Hire, it's an entity that we use like Michigan Quarterly Wages. It allows us access where have reported that someone is earning income.
So you're saying through that service, there was a report at least that Mr. Harding was earning income from somewhere else?
A form, an income withholding generated and went out to that employer, and that was the contact on September 25th was part of his issue, was that being sent to that employer. During that conversation, we talked about submitting pay stubs, and we could address it potentially at this hearing. And then he indicated that he had no intent to pay anything outside of Timothy's Pub.
Mr. Harding, did you have that communication and conversation?
That was a phone call that I had with her. and I was confused why there was two garnishments that were asking for the same amount of money. And then, like, I do remember that phone call that I called that day, and she did tell me that Tim's did receive that they received a payment from Tim's that day as well.
All right.
I
Mr.
didn't go
Kraus,
into the office. Sorry, Your Honor.
that's all right. Sometimes it's hard to tell when somebody's done talking, when somebody else takes over. Ms.
Right.
Kraus, has friend of the court office received any payment since August 8th from Tim's Pub?
No, the only information, and again, it may have been misconstrued because I was interrupted several times, that the only thing I believe that was verified is that the income withholding was sent, but no payments have been received.
Meaning that you had sent it to Tim's Pub.
Correct.
So, go ahead, Mr. Harding.
I can get my pay stubs to show that they've been taking money from my check since you guys put that paperwork with the garnishment on it. Because like I said, it's a set pay every 2 weeks. And I'm only getting half of that set pay from the 2 weeks.
Where is that paperwork?
I could go to my employer and request it. I don't virtually have my pay stubs. I get a direct deposit.
Well, you knew this case has been coming up for this hearing since August. So for the last 3 months, you've known this hearing was set, right?
Yes.
And I assume you've had communications with friend of the court to ask if you needed to continue to appear, right?
No, I have not called. I just received the court paperwork, wrote it down in my calendar, and was like, I guess I've got a court date.
Ms.
I
Lauber,
thought,
go ahead, Mr. Harding.
I thought Tim's was pulling it and paying.
Ms. Lauber, you're here. Did you wish to offer any background information that might be relevant to the questions I've asked so far of either the friend of the court or Mr. Harding?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, well, I appreciate you being here and listening in then. Ms. Kraus, given those circumstances, what is the recommendation of FOC?
A recommendation would be seeking contempt because I have had contact with him requesting information. He doesn't receive information. He has had an ability to pay as employed as well. This would be potentially the first finding.
The first finding would be a 30-day maximum.
Up to 45-day commitment.
I'm sorry, I apologize for that oversight. Then what would the recommendation of friend of the court be to the extent the court adopted the finding as you suggest?
Our request would be the 45-day commitment with a purge payment of his arrears balance of $3,469.68.
Mr. Harding, how do you respond to that suggestion, either in the amount of the finding of contempt or the request in terms of the jail that's being requested to be imposed?
I'm so lost and confused right now. I've literally thought my employer was paying my.
All right, did you have anything else you wanted the court to consider?
Not jail. I've been paying, like I can get my pay stubs. Like I've been living off of $200 just to pay my other bills with my rent and everything.
So, Mr. Harding, the difficulty that you have is that this is not the first hearing we've had regarding arrearages. The difficulty you have is this is not the first hearing we've had regarding your communication or lack thereof with friend of the court. And it's not the first time that the friend of the court has made the suggestion to me that your lack of responsiveness is what's driving the problem with payments. In other words, they're consistently telling me that they're trying to reach out to you and get information from you and tell you what they need. And you're consistently, when you're not on the open court record in front of a judge, being disrespectful, cutting them off, telling them what you will or will not do. So the problem is a communication issue or a lack of communication issue. But it's deeper than that, because while I don't necessarily even disbelieve what you've told me already, is that you believe you've been paying because your paychecks are not full. The point is What's required is not just that payments are taken from you, it's that they get to the friend of the court. Because if they don't get to the friend of the court, they don't get to Miss Lauber. They don't get to be used for the benefit of your child. And the problem is that even if I accept what you've told me, that you've been living without because you think Tim's has been taking it, either because of your actions or your inactions, Tim's has not done what they needed to do, and you are the only and appropriate facilitator of that information between the friend of the court office and your employer. If I had a reason to think that Tim's Pub was intentionally doing something wrong and trying to make things difficult for friend of the court, I would probably view it as a way negative to Tim's. But I don't have that sense. I've never heard in a friend of the court case in Otsego County that Tim's Pub has been problematic or that they have refused to do the things that are needed. In this case, my conclusion is not that Tim's Pub has not done anything. It's that you've not followed through to do anything. And in the 3 months since the order was entered, I tried to be as clear, and I've been talking about this issue with you for months on end, is all that I need to see from you is payment to the friend of the court office. And even if I accept what you said, that what you've done is made payments through what you believe is an income withholding order, they're frankly, based on the assertions that have been made today, clearly not getting to the friend of the court. And when the friend of the court has tried to make you aware of that circumstance that is not getting done, you've apparently been flippant, disrespectful, and cut them off. That's not the way that communication works. Communication works by you hearing the concerns that affect you as much as they affect anyone else, and then doing things to rectify those concerns. But I've been saying and suggesting that over the course of many months, you need to do this. I've made orders. I said you have to make payments every 2 weeks whenever you get a paycheck. You've either assumed that that happened through Tim's and Tim's hasn't done what it needed to do, or you have not supplied the correct information to Tim's and Tim's can't do what they're supposed to do. But either way, that detriment or that error doesn't fall at Ms. Krause's feet. She can only get the information that you supply. And per her statements, you're not being communicative to get her that information. And so the court is put in this unenviable position of knowing that if ultimately you're jailed, you probably lose employment. If you lose employment, the possibility of any money that's been held in escrow for the benefit of your child through Ms. Lauber and the friend of the court is probably lost. So I'm going to do what I can to focus on all of those things. It's going to start with this. I do find you in contempt of the court's order. You have not followed through with the intent of the court order from August. You've had 3 months to do it, and it has not gotten done. I don't want you to serve jail over a non-payment issue when what you're saying is you're making the payments. But it is your job and your job alone to rectify the problem. That means as soon as we're done with the court hearing today, you should immediately go to Tim's Pub and find out what the problem is and make sure they have all the information. And if they don't have it, you are ordered to contact the friend of the court and respectfully gather the information that you need and respectfully turn it back into them. I'm going to impose 30 days of a jail term. I'm going to hold it in abeyance for a short period of time, Mr. Harding, to let you get this back untangled. Because again, based on my findings, it's been tangled if it is at all, because of your inaction or lack of communicative responsibility being communicated to the friend of the court. So today is November 6th. My order is that you have 14 days from today's date to untangle whatever issues are going on between you, Tim's Pub, and the friend of the court. If you untangle those to the point that the income withholding order is in place, then I'm going to hold in abeyance until my next hearing date any further jail. You won't serve it. But if you don't untangle it to where the friend of the court knows what to expect through a valid, in place income withholding order within the next 14 days, then you're going to serve those 30 days in the Otsego County work camp. And the work camp will hopefully give you the opportunity, if you can qualify, to serve an alternative to jail, either by doing community service or if you qualify by going to work. But it's going to be your responsibility to serve within the work camp program if you don't entangle this proverbial mess between you, Tim's Pub, and the friend of the court office. But again, Ms. Strauss, I want the order to also clearly indicate that if you make the determination from the friend of the court that there is an active income withholding order in place that is going to start having monies come into front of the court, then I'm going to suspend the jail sentence and hold it in abeyance until I can have another hearing where I can hear all the detail about what is happening, how much money is coming in, what, if anything, Mr. Harding is not doing, and whether or not I should then reconsider whether there needs to be punitive action. So, Ms. Kraus, do you have any questions about the order? I know it's kind of complicated and not necessarily typical, but do you need me to clarify any further?
I believe I have a clear understanding. I would just like to indicate, because of the communication issues, that what would be required of him is his copy of the income withholding. He could take that with him to Timothy's Pub to give the information. If he is there, they can also reach out to our office, because if he's there, we can communicate with them in regards to specific questions. So it's very clear and on the record of what he can do.
Do you understand with clarity what you can do, Mr. Harding?
Yes.
Do you understand the court's order so far?
Yes.
Do you have any questions or clarifications that I can offer to any part of it?
Well, how would I find out in 14 days? Will FOC tell me?
You will be
Or-
in near constant communication with FOC in a respectful manner so that they can tell you what they need and you can get it for them. And they will tell you, if you have what you need, that you are not going to have to serve the jail sentence, but it will be upon their determination that they have from you and from Tim's what they need. And what that is the income withholding order to be in place.
Correct. Okay,
Do you have
I got it.
a question?
I was talking about afterwards with the 14 days is up.
If the income withholding order is officially in place and friend of the court knows what should be coming in under it, I'm going to hold the jail in abeyance until the next hearing that the friend of the court can set in front of me. Then I'm going to consider whether or not any additional jail or any jail needs to actually be served. That's presupposing that you actually get everything done that I've just indicated, which is have all of the information to the friend of the court and to Tim's Pub, so that this error that's been created can be rectified and the income withholding order can be officially in place.
Okay.
Do you have any additional questions?
No.
Ms. Lauber, since you're here, do you have any questions regarding anything the court has ordered?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Kraus, anything further by way of clarification or otherwise?
Just to double check and reiterate, if it's not complied with, you would like something from our office indicating that that has failed to be done, versus if it has been something to you to make you aware that it would just be held in abeyance to the following hearing.
Yes, I think we need something. I appreciate your clarification. I think I'm going to need something, and it should be copied to Mr. Harding, either in the event A, that he's complied and that the jail would therefore be held in abeyance until the next hearing, or B, that in the front of the court's estimation by November 20th, he has not complied, and therefore the court is requiring that the jail term starts. And so my order would be, if the jail starts because friend of the court determines you're not in compliance, Mr. Harding, your jail term will start on November 20th, 2025 at 4:30 p.m. That's if you don't have things in order and you don't get that communication from friend of the court that everything is in place. Do you understand?
Yes.
Does that clarify better, Ms. Kraus?
Yes, I appreciate that.
Okay, thank you. Then the court will be in recess on this matter. I'll look forward to seeing everybody at the next hearing when hopefully we have positive reports that everything is in place. Thank you.
Thank you.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.